Welcome on the Cosmic Atom. Not everyone is prepared to hear this. Yet certain individuals bear something unique. Have you ever felt that you didn't belong in this world? That your life serves a higher purpose? If so, you may be one of the chosen ones. According to the Bible, God selects specific individuals to carry out unique missions, and these chosen ones have obvious markings that distinguish them from the rest of humanity. Here's the most exciting point. Many people are unaware that they already possess these qualities, and as a result, they spend a significant portion of their life attempting to fit in where they were never intended. Imagine realizing that you have one of these markings, or even all of them. How would it affect your perspective on the world? Today, we will look at what these 7 characteristics are and how they may manifest in your life. But take careful attention. The last mark is the most startling, yet few people discuss it. And if you want to be picked, leave a remark. I chose God, and He picked me. Mark number 1. Poisonous individuals withdraw themselves from you. Have you ever noticed how certain individuals just can't remain around you? Maybe without any obvious cause. Colleagues, acquaintances, and even family members have distanced away as if something about you concerns them. What if this is a sign rather than a problem? The selected ones bear a light that illuminates the darkness. It is not visible, but may be felt. People having malicious purpose, jealousy, or deception. Since then, they can't handle being around for too long. Jesus, you confront this all the time. The Pharisees despised Him not because He wronged them, but because His presence revealed their hypocrisy. In John 8:44, He challenges them. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out his wishes. This is also true for you. Even if you don't say anything, toxic individuals will feel uncomfortable. But don't change only to suit them. On the contrary, this distance might be God's protection, keeping you away from connections that would only impede your progress. And there is more. Some of these individuals attempted to harm you before departing. They talk negatively about you, twist your words to create problems you never wanted. But realize that this isn't about you. It is all about what you carry. Now think about it. Have you ever encountered negative individuals that distance themselves from you without explanation? This might be solid indication that you have this mark. And as you said in the comments, God takes from me anything that is not from Him. Mark number 2. You sense and see things before others. Have you ever sensed something was amiss before anybody else did? Or maybe you saw something no one else could see. If this has occurred to you, you understand that it is more than simply intuition. It is spiritual discernment. The selected ones are very sensitive. They notice changes in the surroundings, detect hidden intents, and often know the answer before the question is even uttered. But this comes at a cost. They are often misinterpreted. Joseph, Jacob's son, experienced this personally. God sent him dreams and glimpses of the future. However, when he revealed these details, he was mocked and discarded by his own brothers. In Genesis 37:19, they said, "Here comes that dreamer. Let's murder him and watch what happens in his dreams." Many selected individuals go through this. They are labeled as theatrical, neurotic, or even arrogant, but in truth they are merely seeing beyond what others can understand. The world wanders in darkness, but those who have discernment walk in light and escape pitfalls. And this is the most intriguing part. The selected ones aren't always sure how to express this notion. They merely know it's an unseen signal that keeps them safe from traps, trickery, and poor judgments. Have you ever had a premonition about something? Have you ever attempted to warn someone and they refused to believe you? This might be a clear indication that you have this mark. But it doesn't end here. The next mark may explain why so many people respond to you in ways you don't understand. And trust me, this response may occur even if you do not speak a word. Mark number 3, you draw disputes without initiating them. Have you ever noticed how, Without even trying, certain individuals appear to cause issues for you, as if your presence annoys them, even when you do nothing. This occurs because the selected ones bear a truth that challenges their nature and upsets those who live in deception. It's not that you desire confrontation, but your actions, words, and even silence challenge those who refuse to adapt. This is precisely what happened to Daniel. He did nothing wrong to the Babylonian kings, but his honesty was an issue for them. He refused to be corrupted, and for that, he was thrown into the lion's den in Daniel 6, verse 4. It is said that his adversaries could not detect any corruption in him since he was trustworthy. The issue was never Daniel. The issue was what he represented. This might happen to you. Perhaps you've previously experienced jealousy, persecution, or condemnation without reason. People attempted to defame you, distort your remarks, and even put hurdles in your path. But recognize that this is not about you. It is all about what you carry. So how should you handle this? The solution is in how you respond. Daniel did not fight back, attempt to explain himself, or use the same weapons as his opponents. He stayed loyal and allowed God to battle for him. If you are under persecution, don't spend your time attempting to persuade people who have already chosen not to listen to you. Simply hold steadfast and believe that God will justify you at the appropriate moment. Now, take careful attention. The following mark will explain why you've never been able to truly fit in and what it entails. Mark number 4. You never quite fit in. Since childhood, have you ever felt that you didn't belong in particular organizations, locations, or even religious environments? The selected ones have an odd sense. They might be surrounded by others and yet feel out of place. This occurs because this planet was never their ultimate goal. Philippians 3:20 states, "But our citizenship is in heaven." This implies that as long as we exist, there will remain an emptiness that nothing in this world can fill. Look at Moses, who was nurtured like a prince in Egypt. He had everything a human could desire: prestige, power, and fortune. Nonetheless, he never felt a home there. He sensed there was something more for him in life. According to Hebrews 11 verses 24 to 25, he decided to suffer alongside God's people rather than enjoy the transitory pleasures of sin. If you feel like you never quite fit in, maybe God is revealing you something bigger. But here's the deal. This sensation should not alienate you, but rather prepare you. The selected ones are not called to hide, but to impact your surroundings. Not just any place. It is where God intends you to be. So here's a challenge. Look back and observe how many times God has removed you from circumstances, organizations, or locations that were not suited for you. Do you believe this was a coincidence? Or maybe He was preparing you for something greater? So, if you don't feel like you belong in this world, please write in the comments, "My home isn't here. I belong to the kingdom of God." Mark number 5, children and animals detect something unique about you. Have you ever observed how children or animals respond differently when they're close to you? Perhaps a baby looks at you carefully or grins at you for no apparent reason. Alternatively, a normally shy animal approaches you confidently. This might be more than coincidence. It might be a hint that the selected ones have a distinct presence, one that cannot be seen but can be felt. Children, in their innocence, experience this presence. Jesus Christ said in Matthew 19:14, "Let the little children come to me, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as." These animals also exhibit an unusual level of sensitivity. They recognize intense energy and even hazards before humans do. In the Bible, we have an interesting illustration of this. Numbers 22 tells the tale of baby lambs and donkey. Balaam was on a route where an angel of the Lord was waiting to halt him. He saw just his donkey, comprehended it, and attempted to escape the danger. This demonstrates that animals can feel things before humans can. Now think about it. If innocent eyes see anything unusual about you, what does this reveal about your mission? Could it be that you carry God's presence such that people may experience it without saying anything? So here's a challenge. Let your presence speak louder than any words. May people feel at ease when you come and notice something different, even if they can't describe why. Mark number 6. God communicates to you via dreams and signals. There are times when life seems to be going well until something unexpected occurs that causes you to wonder. Was it a coincidence, or did God send a sign? You see recurring numbers, hear unexpected messages, or have a dream that becomes a reality some days later. This occurs because the selected ones are directed, not lost. Since biblical times, God has spoken with his chosen people via dreams and signs. Joseph, son of Jacob, receives dreams that foreshadow the future. The prophet Daniel had visions that altered history. In Matthew 2, God spoke to the wise men in a dream and warned them not to return to Herod. God always finds a way to communicate, yet not everyone listens, and signals do not necessarily appear in a supernatural fashion. God sometimes communicates via individuals, events, and even minute daily things. A closed door, an unexpected encounter, and a Bible scripture that emerges at the perfect time. All of this might be the divine solution. However, many individuals disregard these warning signals or attempt to dismiss them as coincidences. However, if God shows you something frequently, he may be preparing you for something larger. So the next time anything strange occurs, before considering it a coincidence, ask the Lord, "Is this from you? What would you want to show me?" Because the solution is usually there in front of you. You just need to open your eyes. Mark number 7. When you pray, something happens. Now we get to the most potent mark of all. This, more than anything else, identifies the selected ones. Their prayers are not just words. They alter reality. Some people pray, but nothing changes. Others, however, find that when they pray, the environment around them changes. The selected ones do more than simply converse to God. They have a direct link to heaven. Elijah prayed, and it didn't rain for 3 years. He prayed again, and the rain returned. Peter prayed, and a paralyzed man rose. Paul and Silas, imprisoned in chains, started to pray, and the prison doors opened on their own. This occurs because the selected one's prayer is more than just a repetition. However, a tremendous scream is heard when a selected one prays. He doesn't just ask, he expresses his confidence. He accords with God's will. When it occurs, things start to move. Here's something much deeper. God does not need great speeches from his chosen ones. The power of prayer lies not in fancy words, but in the faith of the one who prays. A whisper expressed with faith is worth more than 1,000 words said without conviction. If you've ever had a definite sense that God has answered your prayer, no, it wasn't luck or chance. It was a proof that he heard you and that your voice had spiritual significance. Now, as a reminder, if your prayer is powerful, so is your obligation. How have you utilized this relationship to pursue simply your wants or to affect change around you? Think about it. Now is the time to reflect. If you've made it this far, you've probably noticed that the selected ones are not like everyone else. They carry markings that are not always easy to comprehend or endure. However, each of these features shows something profound. God has a purpose for those he calls. Perhaps you recognized any of these markings during the film, perhaps with all of them. And if that's the case, don't dismiss what God is telling you. These marks are not a hardship. They are an indication that you have been chosen for something bigger. But now comes the most crucial question. What are you planning to do about it? Recognizing the signals is nothing if you don't act. If God has chosen you, he expects something of you. So, if this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. I like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear it and leave a comment. I have the markings of the selected ones. Declare it with trust. Finally, if you want to continue getting messages that will help you along your trip, subscribe to the channel and enable alerts. After all, the selected ones must constantly be ready to receive whatever God has in store for them. May God bless you, and remember that you are not alone. Dear viewers, your support through Super Chat and membership is the only source of income that keeps this channel running. If you want me to continue uploading valuable content without delays and to stay motivated in providing you with the best wisdom, I need your help. Every contribution, big or small, makes a huge difference. Feel free to donate and support Pure Wisdom so we can keep growing together. Your generosity keeps this journey alive. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.